So I've had some requests to show the brackets that I made. I'm a complete amateur. These are not going to be pretty at all, but they work. As far as the ones in the back go, where the slot's right there, kind of tough to see. I'll edit this together. But all I did was make a little plate that mounted. You can see. Those are the two bolts where they mount at the top, and then I just welded this little peg on the bottom. I thought I was going to need a cotter pin to hold it in, but that's not the case because the front ones hold them in place. Same thing. I had to play, this one's mounted on the inside of the frame. I think the other one's mounted on the outside, but you get the idea. That's what it is right there, just that little piece, that little T-looking piece. And like I said, it just needs to be held in position. It doesn't need the pins to hold them in there. There's my pretty girl doing yard work. As far as the front brackets go, once again, not beautiful, but that's it. The two bolts at the top are what bolt to the holes that are already into the frame. So from there, I just kind of eyeballed it on the pictures, but as you can tell, it's almost a straight line up and down where the holes need to be drilled. My piece happens to be angled because I thought it would need that, but it turned out not to be the case. As far as on the bottom here, I kind of a little more work than I needed to, but long story short, you can see this is slotted in here. In reality, I didn't need to do that at all. I could have just put it on the outside, I'm sure. I don't know, I had time to kill and I thought it would work better, but looking back on it, it does the same. The only tricky part was, and this I actually had to redo, is if you look in here, that pulley is the pulley off the motor, and then here's where it comes back. That's the main pulley of the snowblower. Those two need to be aligned height-wise. When I first did it, this one in the back here was a tad low. I know this is hard to see, but the one, you can kind of see it on the right, it was a little bit low, and when I would engage the blower, it would want to pop off, which was very frustrating. So I had to read, all I had to do was make a couple more of these, and just this distance right here, the bottom one, I just raised it up a little bit. So this used to be down here, so I made a new piece and just raised it about an inch. But looking back on it, if I would have put car jacks underneath it, underneath the blower to hold that pulley in level with the engine pulley, it would have been easy to do it in one shot. I'll show you the ones on the other side. Let's see. Here's the one from over here. Stupid cover's in the way a little. But as you can see, this one I didn't cut all fancy in the bottom like I did on the other one. I just put a hole through the middle. I forget, I think that's 2.5 by 1 inch steel. Honestly, anything would hold it. It doesn't take much at all. This is way overkill, even though it looks amazingly simple. Once again, I don't know if you can see them, but try to get the pulleys aligned height-wise, and that's about it. It probably looks more complicated than it is, but in all reality, for about $3 worth of steel, if you get the guy to cut it, mine are about, I don't know, 6-inch pieces right there, so you need maybe a foot. Have them cut them in 6-inch pieces, and that'll do it.